As most of you already know, I love my Nintendo Switch. I've owned it since the day of release, I've spent way too much money on games, and I can happily say that it has one of, if not the best libraries in Nintendo history. But every time I take a look at my collection, I can't help but feel a sense of emptiness. On the surface, this console has everything: amazing ports, outstanding exclusives, roguelike gambling, but even with all of this, there's one thing that is so evidently lacking: a Tomodachi Life port. Every Nintendo Direct, I get on my hands and knees and beg for this game, but Nintendo just looks at me and laughs and spits on me a little bit, and I kinda like it. A Tomodachi Life port or sequel has been one of the most requested titles by the masses since the Nintendo Switch was released, and back in 2021 when the Miitopia port was announced, I kinda felt like we were one step closer to getting this game on the Switch, but now that we are in the big year of 2024, which is most likely the last year before we get the next big Nintendo console, there is no sign of a Tomodachi Life port coming anytime soon. Of course, there is still the June Direct where a port or sequel can get announced, but after years of getting my hopes high, I think I can officially say Nintendo won. I am done begging for this game, it is just not happening. But this still doesn't solve the current little problem I'm having, which is I've been itching to play Tomodachi Life. If I'm being honest, my Tomodachi Life addiction is kinda like my Minecraft addiction in some aspects, since every year I always get that little feeling in my stomach telling me to binge play this game for a week just for me to forget it exists for the rest of the year. The beautiful thing about Tomodachi Life is each time you play through it, you can experience new things, create new memories, make grotesque me's, and for this year's playthrough, I decided instead of just playing by myself, I would include you guys, which was a horrible decision. Things immediately got off to a bad start since I named my island, Epstein Island. I was doing it for a funny little joke, okay? A little haha little bit. I was trying to be funny, but I forgot it doesn't let you change the name of your island after you submit whatever you submitted at the beginning of the game, meaning I had to reset the save within the first 2 minutes of playing. Once I reset my game, I spent a ton of time pondering and thinking what the name of my island should be, since this is a very important decision. It's gonna be the island name that I associate with this gaming experience until the end of time, and after what felt like an hour, I was able to come up with the name LaiyenZ, because Lai, like lions, and then land, because it's land. Yes, I know you don't need to tell me, I am a genius. The only issue with this name, however, was when I submitted it, I wrote out Liland in its entirety, instead of just writing Lai, meaning my island was Lailand Island. Why does nothing go right in my life? If you thought the series of unfortunate events when naming my island was bad, just wait, there's more, because I conveniently forgot to mention I was using an emulator for this playthrough. Since I was using an emulator, I encountered the godforsaken, mythical, nightmare-inducing red circle head me. Since I forgot to download some 3DS system files or something. I don't know, it's some random tech mumbo jumbo. Okay, so finally, once I got things settled and actually downloaded the correct files, I was able to proceed with the game. Mind you, this took close to 40 minutes. As with most Tomodachi Life playthroughs, I spent a majority of the time designing my me. Now, usually I do something pretty generic for my personal me. In most cases, I just end up looking like the me brawler or Guest C from Wii Sports, but this time I had my chat on my shoulder whispering into my ear how I would look, meaning this was the final product. I like to consider this me a representation of what I would look like in an alternate universe if I strictly pursued being a Discord moderator and played video games 24/7 instead of doing what I currently do, which is be a Discord moderator and play video games 24/7. But with a tiny little bit of a regular life sprinkled in. As for my personality, I ended up getting easygoing and optimistic, which is surprisingly very accurate. I'm definitely a relaxed and open-minded person.
I want to eradicate all the Goombas from the...
Once I moved into my completely empty, dark-pitched apartment, the perfect environment for Discord moderator LaiyenZ, I set out to find some friends. Now, in a normal LaiyenZ Tomodachi life playthrough, I would immediately make a zero-suit Samus me and pray that I ended up getting married to it. But this time, I was not gonna do that. Instead, I closed my eyes and randomly picked people in chat that I would create in the game and then force to live in the hellhole called LaiyenZ Island. My first victim, resident of the island, was a viewer named Valentine. Valentine was a very nice person and was giving me recommendations in chat on how they wanted their me to look like. I did not take into account any of those recommendations. I don't know what anyone in chat was expecting, but I was never gonna listen to their suggestions on how they wanted their me's to look. I was just gonna wing it. After lots of trial and error, I decided that Valentine most likely looked like this in real life. I know. Amazing. Okay, I didn't entirely strip away my viewers' creative control over their character, since I did give everyone the opportunity to choose their relationship with me and also their personality. So in Valentine's case, they are my sibling and have a confident designer personality. After Valentine moved in, LaiyenZ quickly came to say hi, and the two immediately became friends, and most likely started plotting some kind of pyramid scheme or illegal money laundering tactic that would help them introduce a class system on LaiyenZ Island where they could rule from the top and steal from the poor. Also, apparently Discord moderator LaiyenZ has Apollo's gift of prophecy, since he saw visions of having a child in the future. I need to somehow make sure that never happens. With 2 residents already on the island, I decided, let's add another one. This time, it would be my least favorite moderator, Pika Spitz. That's a joke, by the way. You aren't my least favorite mod, Pika, if you're watching this. Based on the way Pika talks on Discord and in my Twitch chat, I realized that the most accurate representation of him in me form was most likely gonna be this. I can't really describe why it's this, but this is definitely what he looks like in real life. As for his personality, he is an outgoing trendsetter. Just look at him. Look at him go. What is he doing? Taking a look at the me's I've made so far, I wouldn't be shocked if someone mistook this group as a ripoff of the McPoyles family from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, since, oh my god, they are ugly. And I want to add more ugly me's. The next chatter that had the blessing of being introduced to LaiyenZ Island was Nemo, and you can probably guess from that name alone what I was gonna make their me look like. Yeah, Nemo's giant soulless eyes are a representation of the PTSD she has from the war we fought in together during the year 1973. I know many of you didn't actually know this, but we are war heroes. It's true. You wouldn't know that if you read a book or something sometime. Maybe you should pick up a book. Stupid dumbass. As my first introduction to Nemo, I accidentally purposely fed them fish as their first meal. Comment down below if that's cannibalism. I don't think it is, since it was salmon and she's technically a clownfish, so it's not even the same thing. One's in a river being eaten by bears, and the other's watching their parent get gruesomely murdered by a barracuda. Once I gave Nemo her nice meal, she gifted me a bat set. I quite literally cannot escape the stinky Discord moderator accusations that this game is placing upon me right now. Also, while I was busy creating a bunch of different me's to add to the island, I'd like to congratulate Valentine since they decided to get a job at the supermarket. Let's go! Employed and based. Don't be like me and spend money on Margiela tabbies, cause they make me feel like a horse girl. To conclude the day, I watched myself take a bath and also got myself a new outfit. It's Japanese archive fashion. You wouldn't get it. And that's basically all that happened on day 1 of this Tomodachi Life playthrough. I know I didn't really do much yet other than create characters on the island, so let me know if I should continue this series, and also go follow me on Twitch if you potentially want to be on LaiyenZ Island one day. With that, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe, or else I will find you.